مرحبا بكم بمراكش المنارة. تشير حتى
Vous voyez?
Oui.
Regarde. Plein de l'eau et de chaud et on le met.
In the first step, the skins are being soaked into hot water and poisoned during 2 days to remove all the remaining hair. Then, they're being washed out and dried during 8 days. In the next step, pigeon dirt is added as a fixative. Then, flour is being used as a bleaching material during 4 to 6 days, before finally the color is added. In this case, they use the mimosa flower coming from Brazil. They lay it in for 4 to 6 days, so it gets this chestnut brown tone. Finally, the skins are being dried for half a day and are ready to be sold on the souk.
Comment ça s'appelle le couteau?
Cidreia.
Estrella.
Ah, cidreia, c'est un gros rasoir.
Ok.
C'est dur. On a les tanneurs arabes et les tanneurs berbères.
Ouais.
Les tanneurs arabes travaillent les petits pots.
So we have the Arabian and the Berber tanners.
Et les tanneurs berbères,
The Arabian tanners usually work with goats and sheep skins, whereas the Berber tanners use skins from big animals like dromedaries, camels, or even cows.
au dernier siècle, on travaille les couleurs ici naturelles. Donc,
So during the last century, we've been only using natural colors.
par exemple, pour obtenir
For example, here in the Arabian tannery, to obtain the color green, we use henna.
on utilise la henna.
Henna? Yes, henna. I heard about it.
Pour
And for the color black, we would use coal, charcoal.
Ah oui, ça qui brûle.
ah oui.
Yellow would be saffron. But here we only use the brown color, which is made out of chestnut.
Ici, maintenant, on travaille pas les
First, we bleach them like this. Wait, I'll show you.
clochettes comme ça.
So yeah, here you see, we bleach them first, and then we add the color. So on this side, we rub in the color gently, so it gets the right tone. We can do this several times. Afterwards, the people can use them to make bags or shoes or baboos. The Arabs work with all the colors, whereas the Berber tanners use only the color brown, like we do here. So how much does one cost? We don't sell one, we sell 6.
Dans le souk, aussi au Tala, on vend 6 pots qui s'appellent
And this is called taha. Taha? Yeah, taha. Okay. And this would cost around between 200 and 250 dirham. It really depends. It depends on the quality and what. Yeah, you seem to know it. Here we have the Moroccan curry. It is less strong than the Indian curry and especially tasty for meat meals.
Ça, c'est le thé à la menthe, c'est notre boisson nationale.
This is the mint tea, which at the same time is our national beverage. After a heavy meal, it helps to digest and is best when you don't sugar it too much. This cream here is made out of sweet almonds and is used by men after shaving. It's really good. Smell. It smells good, but you know, I don't shave yet. Well, when you shave, you can come back and try. This cream here is made out of argan oil and is used by women in cosmetics. It's a really good smell. After that, the chemist would explain me for a full 20 minutes more about his spices, creams, and cosmetics. It became quite confusing and I lost track quickly. However, it became clear that they pay great attention to use natural remedies, which is a good thing. Now it was time to continue my journey, and so, together with my local friend Faisal, we traveled 500 kilometers through the Atlas Mountains all the way down to the borders of the Sahara Desert. Even though the roads were in pretty shitty condition, the amazing landscapes made it truthfully to a colorful experience. You boys bring me some strange people over here. And they have funny questions. What did you say? He was looking for colors? Yes, he's doing a research project about colors and how we perceive them in our culture and use them for our traditions. Maybe you can help him out. I don't know anything about colors here. Only colorful thing around here is probably my tent. If you think about a color, what comes to mind? Well, thinking about it, I would say green and black like my turban. Green is the color of hope, color of life. For example, for us nomads, when we wander around the desert and we see an oasis, it is life. Furthermore, it is said that the Prophet himself used to dress a lot in green. So for us it also has a religious symbol. It is also a color of guidance. It reminds us to live a healthy and humble life. The desert. The nomads say, in this place of vastness and silence one finds himself. At night, you hear the wind sough over the great sand dunes, creating an overwhelming feeling of peace. After a good morning cup of tea, my next quest was to find out more about the craftsmanship in pottery. Here you are in the pottery neighborhood of Tamagut. It's called the green pottery of the desert. We extract the material from 3 to 4 meters underneath the surface. Afterwards, we place and dry it outside in the sun, where we mash it up to mud. This is where it stays until the evening. At night, we mix the earth with water. The next day, we collect the earth and place it on a special sheet where the people can collect and work on it. This handcraft existed since the 7th century. It is passed on over the generations, father to son. 7 families. That is a total of 180 people. The shaped pieces are not directly exposed to the sun. We let them dry 24 hours in the shade. Only then we dry them and do the finishing.
Ok. Et puis la couleur.
And where does the green color come from? So the color green is made from manganese, copper, silica, hematite, and barley flour without salt. The brown is made from manganese, copper, and barley broth.
Et puis la couleur, ça vient.
And when is the color added? For the minerals before and for the vegetal simultaneously when put in the oven. First, we bake the earth, then we add the decoration and dry it in a second time in the oven. This is how we produce the 4 different colors.
Et puis vous savez déjà combien de vous avez fait.
Do you know the number of pieces you have done so far?
Oui.
No, you can't count that.
Par jour, vous faites.
But in one day, depending if somebody helps you, you can do between 80 and 100 pieces on a daily basis.
Ok. Ok.
Le manganèse. Ça, c'est le manganèse.
This is manganese. And this is henna. It is a plant grinded to a powder which can be used as a color.
Les feuilles, oui. Après, on casse et on passe dans un moulin, comme ça devient poudre.
Ok.
Et ça, c'est du pigment.
And these are the pigments we use.
Avec un morceau de bois.
We used to paint with a piece of wood to do the decoration. Now, we use a needle which allows us to be more precise.
Ça vient sur un. Et quand on met la décoration,
The paint is being dried for 4 consecutive days. We use our own specific color, which is a well-kept secret amongst our culture.
après le nez, ça devient fixe.
Okay, you're set to go.
Allez, je fais comme ça.
And so, I finished my first piece of pottery. I admit, it is a fun thing to do and has quite a relaxing effect.
Ok. Puis ça.
Nevertheless, it was time to move on.
Il y a.
Up next was Mgoun El Kella, located in the Rose Valley where the annual celebrations just took place. The 3-day festival is an opportunity for rose farmers to celebrate the year's crops and praise the beauty of nature. Locals and politicians would meet and discuss the development of the region, and international traders would attend the event. Here I was introduced to more colors and their meaning. For example, how a woman can signalize by color if she is ready to get married.
D'une autre vêtement. Ok. Et d'une autre mariage, il va.
Furthermore, I could visit the local production sites where the precious rose water is distilled. With 10 tons of petals required to produce about 30 liters of precious oil, the harvest is understandably a labor of love. The peak of the event is the election of the Rose Queen, who will reign over the year's scented crop. All in all, a colorful event, and definitely worthwhile to attend. On my way down through the Anti-Atlas, I made a special encounter. Hearing about my searching for traditional craftsmanship, somebody in Kella informed me about the special institution in Amnurgar. It is a place where physically challenged people are given the possibility to complete the technical profession. It all started in August 1999, when tribes and the local authority of Ouarzazate provided 4 hectares of land of an old manganese mine. This institution was founded by the Swiss Gérard Menou. After 5 years of hard work, the center opened and the first patients could begin their apprenticeship. There are 3 main fields of work: carpenters, jeweler, and agriculture. The precision, tradition, and passion of the objects is simply breathtaking. The people working there are amongst the warm-hearted I've ever met. A very touching encounter. What would color research in Morocco be like without visiting one of the most renowned carpet weavers in the world? In Tasnach, I met Tufik. His company belongs to the most established in this area. The local merchant with Berber roots gave me an insight of the colorful carpet industry. The complexity of the pattern determines the value of the carpet. This is also known as the Berber tattoo. A married woman has one on her forehead, a divorced woman a second one on her chin. You can find the hand of Fatima, incantations, serpents, the tree of life, tents, and many other symbols. But only the woman who actually weaved it knows its signification. She weaves her story. Is she there? Yes, we can go and meet her. Only 200 meters from here. Okay, let's go. Sedentary rural and nomadic productions stayed rather unknown in Europe until the 20th century, as the Berber tribes preferred to stay away as far as possible from the central power, and therefore cultural exchange was mostly limited to regional migration and trade. The power of Berber weavings is greatly dependent on its specifically female culture, influenced much more on pre-Islamic beliefs, spirituality, and magic rather than on formal traditions as we know it from the Orient. The main design concept of Middle Atlas carpets is normally based on an overall diamond grid. It can often change during the course of being woven, and these conceptual fractures become obvious features of the finished piece. Indeed, in making these carpets, a consistent composition seems to have been less important than having the flexibility to modify the rug's composition as soon as new ideas come to mind. Overall, one can say, a woman is trying to tell her story, almost like in a book. As Tufik explained, not only the complexity of symbols matter, but also the quality of wool. For example, the most valuable one comes from the shoulder, chest, and forearm of the sheep, and is highly appreciated by the weavers and traders. With all this information, I became quite interested, and after Tufik invited me to have lunch at his place, we started bargaining about one of his carpets. In the end, he gave me a good deal on one of them, and now I have my hand-woven Berber carpet. With that having done, I said goodbye to Tufik and headed towards the coast. After all this research, explanations, and welcoming encounters, I thought it was time to enjoy the last days at the marvelous beaches near Agadir. After all, breathtaking landscapes, exotic smells and food, the warm welcoming of the people, and of course the uncountable colors have made Morocco to one of the most interesting countries so far, and I can only highly recommend a visit to discover the 1001 secrets of the Maghreb.